pakinggan natin itong interview nitong si Pinky Webb. Itong in-interview niya itong si Janet Garin. Kung matatandaan natin, itong si Toby Tiango ay nagrereklamo po sa proseso ng pag-imbestiga nitong flood control na mga anomalya, no, mga ghost projects. At nagrereklamo si Toby Tiango patungkol dyan sa bakit hindi agad nating maimbitahan itong si Mayor Magalong at itong si Zaldico. At ngayon naman ay pakikinggan naman natin yung side ni Congressman Janet Garin. Okay? Kasi parang hesitant sila na ma-invite ang mga persons na involved like ni Zaldico na nalilink ngayon ang kanyang pangalan dito sa mga flood control projects. So this time si Congressman Janet Garin naman ang ating gawa ng reaksyon. At help me po muna na i-like at saka i-share itong video na ito para kakalat ito sa taong bayan. Okay? Mahalaga like and share. Okay, ready? Sabay-sabay mo tayong mag-like and share. 1, 2, 3, go! Ayan, naka-like and share na ba? And sa mga bago pa lang dito sa aking channel sa Donmar TV, mag-subscribe na po kayo kung first time nyo itong napanood, no? Para lagi kayong updated sa ating mga balita. Okay, so pakinggan natin itong si Congressman Janet Garin. Okay, play. Pasok!
Investigate fellow members of Congress, and where is Zaldico in the first place? Let's get on point with House Deputy Speaker and Iloilo 1st District Representative Janet Garin. Congresswoman, good to have you. Thank you for your time. Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me, Pinky.
So when I watched the hearing yesterday, so Monday was the Senate, just for the information of those watching, as baka medyo nagkakalito na rin. Monday was the Senate, Tuesday was the first hearing of the TRICOM into the flood control controversy. So sa umpisa pa lang po, nagkaroon na ng mga, tense exchanges with you. Medyo bida po kayo dito dahil dalawa yon. One is with Congressman Toby Tiango. We're just going to play that and just to give some premise into this. But let's watch this first. Go ahead.
Let us not make the investigation personal. Let us all work together so that in the 2026 budget, while we are ongoing the deliberation, let us identify yung mga singit na flood control projects.
Mr. Chair, yun na nga ang problema, no? Nung unang ginawa to, I was against it. How can we investigate ourselves? That is the primary question. Under the name of Congressman Zaldico, ang insertion sa PICAM as proponent siya is 13,803,693,000. And we do not want to invite him as a resource person.
Mr. Chair,
Comsec.
What happened prior?
Go ahead.
So when you have a committee hearing, there's a list of who will interpolate. I am the first one listed. Maagang-maaga nagpalista na ako doon because I had other appointments. And klinaklaro ko lang ang pinapalabas kasi ni Congressman Toby Tiango na pinipigilan naming imbitahin si Congressman Zaldico. That's not true. All of us were in unison. Yes, we can invite Zaldi because I asked, is he a member? Hindi siya kasama sa imbitasyon kasi hindi member. And then there was a motion and then Congressman Abante objected. The intention was to divide the House. I called for a suspension kasi sabi ko, teka, bakit tila tayo nag-aaway-aaway sa loob? Well, Congressman Brian po is a colleague and the mother was being mentioned. Sabi ko, teka nga, wala namang, we were talking to Congressman Abante, please do not object. Ano ba yung objection mo? And yun yung sinasabi niya, we have interparliamentary courtesy. Pero sabi namin, baka naman pwede to shed light. But then, in every hearing, you can request people to be invited during admin matters. However, the committee was being held hostage. Kasi na-divert ni Congressman Toby Tiango yung usapan doon kay Congressman Zaldico at kay Senator Grace po. We did not, that's why I was trying to interject because it was my time. Ako yung dapat na nagsasalita, ako yung dapat na ni-recognize ng chair. And I was pointing to the fact that we were not objecting, pero ang point ko, imbitahan natin sila, pero dahil hindi naman yan agad-agad, allow me to proceed to my line of questioning.
So you were actually going to say that Congressman Zaldico is going to be invited?
Yes,
okay.
Prior to that, there were a lot of congressmen talking. Sabi namin, dapat nga siguro talaga siya ang sumagot dun sa issue na yun. But the point of contention on the infracom, ang pinag-uusapan kasi doon is, paano na ipapasok ang ghost projects? Paano nagiging substandard? Kasi may mga aligasyon na ang dami ng mga middleman na nag-aalok at nagbebenta. And we wanted to know why. Kasi sabay yung budget hearing, di ba? Wala na si Zaldi. Iba na rin ang mga nasa Senado. Bakit sa 2026 budget, andun yung mga singit na flood control project that we cannot identify the process by which they are being inserted. At ang sinasabi ng galing sa Kongreso, no. Pagdating ng budget sa Kongreso, andyan na siya sa National Expenditure Program.
Balikan ko lang po, Congresswoman, yung sinabi niyo po. Bakit may mga ghost projects? Bakit may mga substandard projects? Why, ang sabi niyo po? Hindi ho ba importante din si who?
Yes, that's right. That's why we said.
Kaya nga, sa kanila, ang tinatrabaho nila kung papaano hindi makalusot itong mga ghost projects, mga insertions. Importante rin yung who. Di ba? Dapat merong mananagot. Yan ang laging pinupoint out nitong si Toby Tiango. Kaya nga, gusto ipatawag si Mayor Magalong eh. Gusto ipatawag as resource person din si Zaldico. Para magkaalaman na. In that way, dyan nyo mabigyan ng proseso na by the next budget hearing, maiiwasan na itong mga insertions na ito. Ayaw nyo kasing parang may hesitant pa kayong i-invite itong mga takot. Ito yung napapansin ng taong bayan ha. Takot kayong i-invite si Mayor Magalong kasi baka itong si Mayor Magalong merong mabanggit na pangalan dyan sa loob, mga kaalyado ninyo. Takot kayong maimbitahan itong si Zaldico kasi baka hindi nakapaghanda kung ano yung isasagot. Baka saka na lulutang itong si Zaldico kung meron na kayong script na nagawa. Ganun ba? Di ba? Importante rin yung who, yung urgent. Ngayon na, pasasagutin na natin.
Imbitahin natin, but for the meantime, nawala siya. Kasi papadala niya ng invitation.
For the meantime, nawala siya, bumubuo pa ng script. Hey, bakit kasi? Nasaan ba talaga si Zaldico?
Allow us to proceed to the first interpellator, and that's me. Kasi 9 o'clock dapat ang start. 9:30, I should have started questioning kasi marami kasi kami sa pila. Parang tapos na yung issue na yon. And I presented to Congressman Toby Tiango, yes, meron tayong dapat tingnan. Pero hindi ba dapat tingnan rin natin paano ito permanently or semi-permanently i-plug? Because my point is, it's being repeated
But are you interested to find out what happened in the 2025 budget?
Yes, we are.
Because it can appear, Congresswoman, na you want to fix the 2026 budget and plug the loopholes. And sabi mo nga, may mga ahente, may extra, may mga etc. Andun po tayo. Pero doon sa nangyari sa 2025, how
Dugtong kasi
interested
siya eh.
are you to
We
find
are
out?
very interested kasi dugtong siya eh. The allegations na, okay, let's talk about the allegation na meron daw insertion si Congressman Zaldico na how much was that,
13B.
Okay.
According to Congressman
Yeah,
Toby Tiango.
that we have to see. Kasi kapag ikaw ang chairman ng appropriation at meron kang nakikitang mga, well, all members will have to submit their request to the chairman of the Committee on Appropriation and you make a general request covering everybody. That's how it works.
A
Kaya-
request for what?
Example, meron ka sa distrito mo, nakita mo, may pondo yung tulay,
I see,
gawa
okay.
na yan eh. So, this matters. Yes, that's why I was saying, that's correct. We look at the small committee, we look at the BICAM, and andyan na yung reforms ngayon eh. Di ba, yung small committee will now be transparent. Pero ang sinasabi namin, dapat buuhin natin. We cannot just focus here. We have to focus on the whole process. Yes, the 2025 insertions should be checked. However, the other alleged insertions, especially the ghost projects and the substandard projects, are not congressional insertions.
How do you know that?
Because Secretary Bunoan admitted it. Kasi yun nga yung point ng iniimbestiga namin. I asked him the 2 projects that the President visited, can you confirm that these are ghost projects? And he said yes. And we told him who were the proponent, saan ito sa budget nakalista. These were already listed when DBM submitted the budget to Congress. Meaning, it's an agency initiative. That's why I was telling,
galing
sa
ahensya,
departamento
hindi po galing
na
sa
inapprove ng
congressman o
DBM.
congresswoman.
Yes,
Okay.
so ang sabi ko, buuhin natin ito.
But that does not mean, no, Congresswoman, that just because yung dalawa pong binisita ng Pangulo na natuklasan ninyo, according to the DPWH Secretary, former Secretary Bonoan said, that came from the NEP. Kumbaga galing talaga sa DPWH. That doesn't necessarily mean all these other hundreds of other projects came from the DPWH.
That's why we
They
were
could have been
asking. That's why we were
insertions.
asking him. Kasi, okay, merong mga insertion, yung mga initiative ng mga congressman. Pag may initiative ka, meron kang pagkukunan ng pondo. And usually, you will see that this project is not needed in your area anymore and you are proposing a new project. Technically, it's an errata, it's an amendment. Nakasanayan lang yung word na insertion. But the point is, meron kang pagkukunan, may i-identify ka na hindi kailangan at ililipat mo dito. Pero, dun kasi sa mga nakikita, I believe Secretary Bunoan admitted to 15. Ongoing yung Now, itong mga nakikita niyang ibang mga flood control na substandard, nasa NEP na rin eh. In other words, yes, we look at the 2025 budget, but what I wanted, what we were proposing, that's why a day before I was presenting it to Congressman Toby Tiango. Bakit patuloy nangyayari? Alam mo yung napakatapang nilang gawin
But
ito.
is it a problem of how you want to begin this hearing as opposed to how they want to begin? Or for example, Congressman Toby Tiango would want to begin this investigation because from where I'm sitting, it appears that you want to plug the problems or the loopholes dito sa 2026 budget.
Both.
Opo.
Because
pero saan po kayo mag-uumpisa? Kahit na po both.
Buo
Doon
yan
sa
eh.
prosesong yan,
Buo yan
sa
eh.
2025 po ba kayo mag-uumpisa o 2026 pabalik?
both. Because kaya nga ang tinutumbo ko doon, the areas where there were a lot of alleged flood control
Ghost and
projects.
substandard.
Yes, are the same areas now listed in 2026. Ang punto ko doon is ongoing ang budget deliberation. 2025, kung meron man managot ang dapat managot. Pero ang 2026, sayang eh. Mapipigilan pa natin eh. Ang daming nagugutom, ang daming kailangan. So, there is an urgency to tackle both, especially 2026. And, okay, I am not objecting. However, let us be factual about the situation. Hindi kami korte. Hindi kami korte. So, let's say, may makita na mali dun sa small committee. May makita na mali dun sa BICAM. We are not a court. We can, we can participate, we can give information and whatever. But the President already said, he's forming a third-party group to look into this, an independent group. Imagine we are investigating what the President is investigating. Hindi nakakagulo kami doon. That was what we were
Why
explaining.
do you say nakakagulo when it can be complementary? Because that's happened in the past. Quadcom, hindi ho ba?
Well, di ba very clear naman ang sinabi ng Presidente, bubusisiin nila yung mga yon. That's why, ang punto nga namin is, yes, if you want to invite, let's invite. If the President are identifying these projects and DBM, related naman kasi sila eh. Parang hindi pwedeng ituro lang dito sa Kongreso. Hindi pwedeng sisihin lang si Congressman Saldico. There are enablers that are still inside and we cannot see them. There are invisible enablers.
Pero Garin, ang pangalan ni Zaldico ang pumutok ngayon. Yan ang unahin natin. Kagaya rin yan sa laging nababanggit sa media, itong si Diskaya. So si Diskaya ngayon ang inuuna na inimbestigahan. So si Zaldico ang laging pumuputok ngayon na pangalan, siya ang uunahin natin. Huwag nyo na munang idama yung iba. Kung meron rin, gusto mo generalize ka agad eh. Lahat na eh. Si Zaldico yung unang sinabi ni Toby Tiango na may insertions na bilyones. So siya muna yung ating tatanungin patungkol dyan. Yun ang punto ni Toby Tiango dyan.
Who